guys, it's Bryony. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you around the newborn setup that I have in my parents' house because I'm planning to stay here for the first sort of 6-ish weeks after I give birth. As you can probably tell, I'm currently 37 weeks pregnant. By the time you see this video, baby boy will probably already have been born, however, so this will have been used for a while. I haven't quite worked out where I'm going to put this video out in my schedule, but he will almost certainly be here, so this will all be being used by the time you see this. But I wanted to give a quick overview of how I've set things up and just give you a quick tour basically. So first of all, I've got my mum helping me today with the camera, just it's a little bit easier to move about with this. So let's start off with where he's going to be sleeping and the bed situation. So this is his Moses basket. We don't actually currently have this in the room because it's, as you can see, it takes up quite a lot of space. So we've just put this here to kind of demonstrate for the video. He will be by my bed when it actually comes to time for him to be here. So that will be where his cot is. We've just moved it out into the hallway now just to make it a little bit easier to film. So the next kind of section of my room is next to my bedside. I have a sink in my bedroom, which always fascinates people, wondering why do I have a sink here. It's basically been here since my parents bought the house, and we've just kept it and obviously renovated it over the years. And it's very handy to have here, I think, for like washing hands after changing nappies as well. But yeah, that's why there is a sink in my room. But the little thing that we've added for baby boy coming is this shelf. This is just like a £10 stick-on shelf from Amazon, and it's just so it can hold this very clever nightlight that I have. I'll show you something cool about this egg in a minute. But yeah, it's just a little shelf that can also hold a drink next to me, and I could probably put some painkillers there too if I need them as well. So it's just a little shelf that's next to me, and obviously is next to the plug socket so that everything is easy to plug in that way. So then moving along to this side of the room, this is the changing area. So we have a proper changing mat for little man, but it doesn't fit this way on the table here. It only fits sideways, and I find it much easier to change babies head on. So we decided that we'd have that one downstairs and have this little, this was a spare changing mat that I had from a changing bag, and all I've done is basically padded it out a bit with a towel underneath and rolled the edges in just to kind of make it a bit more enclosed and a bit nicer. So we have a changing area both upstairs and downstairs. So I have some nappies and wipes up here, but we also have a nappy caddy downstairs, just so I'm not currently going up and down the stairs when he's here. When we're downstairs in the day, and obviously he'll need changing during the night. So yeah, just a little setup here. Obviously got the changing mat, got the size 1 nappies, got some fragrance-free wipes, pot of Sudocrem. I don't know about wherever you are in the world, but Sudocrem is like the go-to cream for everything here. It's like an antiseptic healing cream. Nappy rash, eczema, surface wounds, minor burns, sunburn, acne, red sores, everything it gets used for, so it's quite handy. And I also have some little nappy sacks, but probably won't use them because I do have a nappy bin in this room now. Currently I have this little, this is actually my hacker, and it does currently have the hacker in it, but I've kept the pot over here for one very specific reason, which is during the night where I need to change him, I don't want to have to turn on all the main lights in my room. So my night light is quite clever. Over here, when this thing is on and you take this off, it automatically lights up. And the hacker just happens to be, the pot for the hacker happens to be the perfect height to just stick this little egg on in the night, and it just casts enough light over here that you can kind of see what you're doing. If it's on the table, it kind of gets blocked by the towel, and this is just not very secure. So this just happens to be the perfect height, so I figured I'd put it there for that. And then when you're done with it, you basically take it over, put it back on the owl. When the owl is lit up, it automatically turns off the egg, but I can kind of turn it on and off by itself as well. So that is the changing area. Next I currently have this chair in here, which I think is going to get evicted because it's taking up quite a lot of room, and I don't think it's actually really going to get used. So I'm just going to move that out of the way for the time being. I also think with that out of the way, I might be able to put my nappy bin under here, but for now we're just going to leave it where it is. So currently on this side of the table I just have my sort of postpartum stash. So these are my cloth pads, a wet bag, there's some reusable breast pads and some disposable breast pads too. This is just a random pad that I currently have that I thought I'd keep in case my waters broke at home. It'd be quite useful to shove in my underwear. My fan, because I cannot sleep without white noise, so hopefully baby boy likes white noise too. But this isn't a very strong fan, but it just makes enough noise to kind of get ready to sleep. Nappy bin we've just put here on a stool to make it a little bit easier to reach. We got this second hand I think for about £5–10. I have a nappy bin at my house, but I thought actually probably a good idea to get one for this room as well, particularly because in the night you can change quite a few nappies, and also just they smell really bad, so it's best to put them in a nappy bin. Then this is just kind of like the messy area. That's my regular bin. There's a spare car seat and a rocker for toddlers here, but that's not really anything to do with him. So then over this side of the room, currently we have my hospital bag and my hospital booster bag, which is here. So basically we've packed like the hospital bag for one night. Hopefully I won't stay more than one night, but just in case I do, we've also packed an extra booster bag just to make sure that there's enough things kind of packed, extra clothes for me, extra clothes for baby, extra pads, all that kind of stuff, which could be really easy for my dad, who's going to be coming to visit us, to come and grab and basically take back to the hospital if we need extra stuff. And then this table is kind of a bit of a mess. It's currently got all the buttons that still fit me, which is getting smaller and smaller by the day. This is a pack of size 2 nappies. I learned my lesson with one of my newborns who literally outgrew their size 1 nappies overnight, and I had 3 different brands of size 1 nappy and none of them worked. They just decided that that was not enough absorbency for them that night, and I ended up changing them and the bed sheets 5 times in one night. So needless to say, there was a very quick trip to Sainsbury's the next morning to get some size 2 nappies, so this time I'm not making that mistake. I have them ready to go just in case. And then currently these are just some cloth panty liners, and these are some little bralettes that I have cut because I can't wear like bras that have a tight underband. I basically just cut these out of a vest, and so hopefully they will work with the disposable breast pads that stick on the back for breastfeeding. These are a bit of a trial and error. We'll see if they work. They may or may not, but I figured I'd give it a go. And then kind of up here, this is the last bit that's sort of for baby. So these 2 drawers have my own socks and underwear in, but on top here I currently have all my different swaddles. So I have this little Velcro swaddle from Jojo Maman Bebe. It's really, really cute, but I have to say I don't actually tend to like the Velcro swaddles. I find that they work out how to get out of them pretty quickly, so they only last like 1 to 2, maybe 3 weeks. But it is pretty sweet when they're really tiny to use this. Oh, I can tell I'm getting very pregnant and getting very exhausted doing this. But the next swaddles I have here are 3 Tommee TP zip-up swaddles. I have to say I forgot that I had 2 of these. I thought I only had 1, so I put another one on my list, so I had 2. But it doesn't really matter because they're slightly different anyway. So the first one I have is this brand new one, which is a slightly higher tog. I think this one is 2 or 3 tog. So it's just slightly more warm. And basically it has zips at both ends, so you can kind of zip it this way or unzip it the other way, which means you can leave it on and just unzip the bottom when you want to change the nappy in the night. These are my favourite swaddles that I've used. I find them the best. Babies can't get out of them because they're zipped up rather than just Velcroed, and I've just always found them really great. So I have 3 of these, so hopefully he likes these. And then finally I have one of the, I think this is the Love to Dream style, which has their arms can be kind of up like this. Some babies like it, some babies don't, but I had one so I brought it over just in case. And then finally we have 2 drawers here. One has his sort of newborn sleep suits in, so these are just some all-in-ones that I have, and this is pretty much all the newborns live in, to be honest. So I've got, I think, between the ones that are stored in here and the ones that are in my hospital bag, about 12 newborn all-in-ones, which should be more than enough because they grow out of them in a couple of weeks. And then at the back I just have some 0 to 1 months tucked away. And then in the bottom drawer we just have some short-sleeved vests. Again, some of this is in the hospital bag. Some long-sleeve vests, some dungarees, and 1 pair of teeny tiny newborn trousers, because again I tend not to put them in outfits when they're newborn. I tend to just keep them in the onesies, but just have a few extra outfits I thought would be a good idea. And then I guess the final part of this tour is by my bedroom drawer, where I currently have his bath towel hanging and also his all-in-one. This won't fit from birth because it's a 0 to 3 month, but once he's a bit bigger, this really soft cuddly onesie should fit him just fine. So for the time being I've just stored it there so I don't lose it. So yes, that is my newborn setup. Obviously things probably will change when he gets here and we work out what works and what doesn't, but that's kind of how I've set up the room to hopefully work for him to come, just kind of based on my experience of previously fostering newborns and what I found worked and what didn't. Obviously this time I am actually giving birth, so there'll be recovery for me too, so making things easier for me was a priority as well. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Do please subscribe and I will see you soon. Bye everyone, have a great day.